and it's conducted between at least 2 different countries. Then international trade is, we can define as this, right? International trade is an exchange involving good or service, and there should be at least 2 different countries. Basically, we enter to the international trade due to this comparative advantage. Comparative advantage. You may already know what is comparative advantage, right? It means we can produce at lowest opportunity cost than some other nation, right? The goods and service we can produce at lower opportunity cost other than another nation. So the nations can gain from these comparative advantages when entering international trade. International trade occurs. What are the sources? According to comparative advantages, why we use international trade? Because of these reasons. So if you ask a question like what are the reasons why we enter international trade? Because of the differences in climate. Differences in climate. Or else differences in factor endowment. It means factor ownership. There can be differences in between factor ownerships and differences in technology. Because of the technology differences, some countries may enjoy higher production, where other countries enjoy low production. Then the higher productive country, they can produce more, and the extra portion they are having in their nation, they can export their excess production to some other country and earn foreign exchange. This is the basement for the international trade. Because one country enjoys a comparative advantage in the production of a certain good or service, specifically if the opportunity cost of producing that good is lower for other good, for the other nation, right? For the other nation. This is the meaning of the comparative advantage. You may discuss this in your business economics also at the later parts when you are discussing international trades. So simply you remind what is comparative advantage. It is the possibility of a country to provide goods or service at a lower opportunity cost other than another nation, right? Right. So it's the international trade. Now, what you call international bodies? Now, we say that international bodies we needed in order to make some cooperation in between countries to reduce or negotiate between the issues happening in international trade. So, we call international bodies is an organization with an international membership scope of research. The international bodies consist with the international nations, members, countries. They are the members of the international bodies. If you look at the purposes of international bodies, these kind of things, connecting members, bridging gaps, encouraging peace and security, connection in between the member countries, bridging gaps, and economic development. These are the purposes, main purposes for having international bodies. So definitely international organizations, they may include members from more than one nation, right? More than one nation. Some international organizations are very large. You may have heard some international organizations, they may include number of nations, even sometimes all the nations in the world. They are members in that kind of organization. For example, WTO, World Trade Organization, except few countries still. So few countries means 4-5 countries in the world. All members, all nations are members in the WTO, right? So some international organizations are very large, while some of are very small or medium size, right? Some are very large, and also some are very small or dedicated for specific purposes. So you may have heard that OPEC. OPEC is a kind of a medium size and it's dedicated to a specific purpose. The members are coming from only Middle East countries, right? Middle East countries. Their purpose is to manage the oil prices. So there is another definition for the international organizations. They are the entities established by formal political agreements, maybe between their members, that have the status of international treaties. They have some agreements in between nations, and it's a formal political agreement. Okay. And they are not treated as resident institutional units of the countries in which they are located. Right, there's another definition also. Let's go through this simply. Institution drawing membership from at least 3 states, having activities in several states, so whose members are held together by formal agreement. Now, what I want to mention importantly is, if you asked how to define the international bodies or international organizations, you can have your own definition, right? You can write down your own definition, but it's very important to include these highlighted parts in your definition, right? What are the highlighted parts is, there can be members from more than one nation, and also can be very large or small, or formed to dedicate for a specific purpose. And there is a formal agreement. And these points should be included in your answer when you are writing down the defining the answers. So there are a lot of organizations for international bodies, like here, a lot of examples are there. Some examples: United Nations, UNICEF, you may have heard. UNICEF stands for the United Nations Children's Fund. WHO, World Health Organization, World Economic Forum, International Monetary Fund, IMF, World Bank, World Trade Organization, WTO, UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, SARC, you may have heard, ADB, Asian Development Bank, and there is a called BRICS, ASEAN, Association of Southeast Nations, OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation Development, and AIIB, Infrastructure Investment Bank, Asian, and WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature. Likewise, these are some of the examples for the international trading bodies, international organizations, and not trading, all are not trading bodies. The sum of international organizations, right? The number of bodies are there. Now, what are the international bodies relevant to Sri Lankan economy? Right? So through these international bodies, we can see some of international bodies which are relevant to Sri Lankan economy also, especially SAARC. So because the SAARC countries, the Sri Lanka also one of the member country in the SAARC nation, South Asian Association Regional Cooperation, right? The other one is BIMSTEC. The BIMSTEC is, we call the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sector Technology, Technical and Economic Cooperation. There can be impact from the BIMSTEC to Sri Lanka. And ADB, Sri Lankan is one of the members, the Asian Development Bank, World Bank, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and International Monetary Fund, IMF. You may have heard this now, especially ADB, World Bank, and IMF is now giving loans to Sri Lanka, no, because of the economic recession happening in Sri Lankan economy. To recover from the economic recession, now they are giving loan facilities to Sri Lanka. Now, if you look at the SAARC one by one, about this, especially the Sri Lankan related international bodies, we will look at the SAARC. This is the logo of the SAARC. SAARC actually originally established in the Dhaka, the Bangladesh, on 8 December 1985. Right. The head office was in the Kathmandu in the Nepal. Who were the member countries? Recall there are how many members? This in this logo even represent how many members in this SAARC corporation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 members are there. Who are the 7 members? Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, definitely Sri Lanka is there. India, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan. These are the 7 member countries. So what are the SAARC objectives? Right, they have not only the trade related objectives, they include the trade related objectives as well as social related objectives and environment related objectives. Look at the objectives. They promote the welfare of the people. Welfare of the people of South Asia. Through that, we can improve the quality of the life of the South Asian countries, the South member countries. So this is a trade-related objective. See, the accelerate economic growth. The trade-related objectives are also there. Social progress and cultural development. And provide all individuals the opportunity to live in dignity and realize their full potential. And promote and strengthen collective self-reliance among countries of South Asia. And also to contribute to mutual trust and mutual assistance in economic, social, cultural, and technical scientific fields. Strengthen cooperation with other developing countries as a cooperation, right? And also they stand for themselves, the negotiations. And cooperate with international regional organizations with similar aims. These are the objectives. BIMSTEC. The BIMSTEC also in the BIMSTEC, Sri Lanka is one of the member in the BIMSTEC. It is a regional organization comprising 7 members, again 7 members in the BIMSTEC. 1997, recently it was formed through Bangkok Declaration and headquarters are in Bangladesh. 7 nations are Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand. The objectives include a very wide area regarding regional cooperation. Look at these cooperative areas, trade, investment, technology, energy, transportation, communication. Okay, every areas they cover, the BIMSTEC countries. They have their own regional cooperation regarding this very extended areas, right? Every area, environmentally, technologically, trade related, economic related, social related, every area, right? Now then the World Bank, WB, World Bank. World Bank, actually you may have heard a lot of about the World Bank, right? It's an international organization. It's a bank for providing finance, advice, and research to developing nations to aid their economic advancement. They are giving, actually simply we call the financial facilities at low rates, so without interest, for their economic advancement or the economic development for the developing nations. The main purpose of this ban is to remove the poverty, eliminate the poverty from the developing nations, so the middle or low income countries, right? Fighting against the poverty. The headquarters situated in United States, established in 1944 July. And before the World Bank, actually, there was an International Bank for Reconstruction Development, IBRD. and the International Development Association, IDA. These two organizations combine together, and then it stands as the World Bank Group. Now it's consists of the World Bank, its subsidiaries also. It works for human development, not only for economic development, human development, agriculture, rural, environment protection, infrastructure, governance, development of legal stability. They provide loans, as we already discussed. They provide loans, grants to member countries in order to remove poverty, right? Then let's see IMF. IMF also you may have heard this very recently regarding Sri Lankan economic situation. IMF, always we are getting loans or financial facilities from IMF to solve our Sri Lankan economic problems, right? The IMF is an international organization. It promotes global economic growth and financial stability. And it's also encourage international trade, reduce poverty. 1945, it was established. There's 190 country international institution, headquarters in the Washington, in USA. The functions are very important. The functions of IMF. One is capacity development. Capacity development means they are trying to increase the every aspects of the capacities, not only in the trade, technologically, human, environmentally, power, every area they try to develop the capacity of the nation through providing financial lines, right? Then surveillance means a stability and come out from the crisis of nations and financial assistance. Those are the functions provided by the IMF. Asian Development Bank is also a kind of a bank giving grants and loans to the member nations, but especially for the Asian countries, right? That's why we call the Asian Development Bank. So the functions are very same as the World Bank, but specifically they focus on the development of the Asian countries. They assist to Asian related countries. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization also some type of a bank. It's situated in Shanghai, China. It's a combination of this organization actually Republic of Kazakhstan, Republic of China, Kyrgyz Republic, Russian Federation, Republic of Tajikistan, Republic of Uzbekistan. There are 5 mechanisms are there. Their target or the purpose are also same. These are the main goals. So in every aspect, as we already discussed, some other organizations as World Bank, ADB, IMF, same, right? The Shanghai Cooperation also, they need to assist in education, energy transfer, tourism, environment protection and other areas. They assist in negotiating in between these given 5 republics. Rather than looking at these organizations, we can categorize these international organizations as this. international non-governmental organizations and international governmental organizations. The one category is governmental related and other is non-governmental related, right? So look at the international non-government, there are a lot of international non-government related organizations. There are NGOs, we call NGOs. So NGOs means non-governmental organizations. They are actually voluntary associations. Voluntary association, no any government intervention or government support. So there are a lot of examples for non-governmental international bodies. You may have seen this kind of international NGOs, right? One is to Save the Children, CARE, Action Against Hunger, Red Cross, ADRA, Handicap International Relief, War Child. Likewise, there are actually number of NGOs, international organizations. There are explanation there. For example, CARE. CARE is an international NGO. It stands for Independent Relief and Development of the nation in regarding different type of issues. We can address to them, right? And ICRC, the Red Cross, you may have heard like Red Cross. In every nation, Red Cross is doing big functions. It's a very neutral, independent humanitarian organization situated in Geneva, Switzerland. Regarding different areas, they try to resolve some issues of the nations, right? They support nations. In health section, maybe sometimes in disasters, they help. Sometimes for the economic corporations, they help. Red Cross, wide area they cover. World Vision International, some other we call one of the largest Christian relief and development organization. This is. Then actually the governmental bodies are very famous, because it comes with the government formal formation and government influence or political influence is there. Intergovernmental organizations such as WHO, WTO, ADB, WB, UNICEF, United Nations, every organization, United Nations, UNICEF, UNESCO, right? All the United Nations organizations are intergovernmental bodies. OPEC also governmental bodies. So it is actually very beneficial if you know about the United Nations organizations. Headquarters again in the United States, 1945 it was established. Other thing is the World Trade Organization. So these are the things actually you have to discuss in your assignment also. So you can find many information regarding this international organizations than this note, right? This is for just a support for your assignment writers, the related topic. Okay. The World Trade Organization says headquarters in the Switzerland. It's a multilateral organization, regulates and support international trade. This organization just stand regarding the trade, World Trade Organization. This is stand for the trade related matters only, not for social law, anything else, technological, environmental related problems. Right? They handle only trade related matters for the member countries. There are 164 members until now. Actually, it's a lot of big representation, large representation of the whole world, around 96% of the globe. 96% of the globe, actually very few countries, 5 or 6 countries still not being the members of the World Trade Organization. Because being the members of the World Trade Organization, it's very beneficial. We can get a lot of trade-related benefits when we become the members of the World Trade Organization. Even Sri Lanka also one of the members. The world's largest international economic organization is the WTO, right? ASEAN actually it's somewhat very old organization. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Nations. Headquarters situated in Indonesia, 1967 it was established. The primary goal of the ASEAN. Primary goal is to speed economic growth. And as a result, social and cultural development. Through this economic growth, speeding up the economic growth, they expect to have social and cultural development also. Right? Here the nations, member countries are all Asian, Southeast Asian nations. So you can find out what are the members, right, of the ASEAN. So finally, we look at the GSP. You may have heard about this even in related Sri Lanka. We deprived of GSP. Sometimes again the government provide facilitate to GSP. Likewise, you may have heard, right? Some governments they cancel GSP. Likewise, so the meaning of GSP is generalized schemes of preference. General schemes of preference is a kind of a preference. It's kind of a quota given by some other nation to developing countries to provide or to export goods, right, to that nation. It's a preferential tariff system. Preferential systems by the developed countries. We call them donor countries sometimes. Donor countries. They giving certain quota or preference to developing countries. We call developing countries here the beneficiary countries. Right? Actually, they are not charging any tariff here. Other than the tariff, instead of tariff, they are giving a quota to provide the or export the goods. So beyond the quota, we can't export that product to the donor country. It is the tariff. Actually, there is not actually a tariff rate, but other than the tariff rate, they have provided a quota. Right? It involves reduce MF tariffs or duty-free entry of eligible products. So there can be a certain eligible list of products which can be exported under this GSP benefit, right, to the beneficiary countries. Even Sri Lanka also having now GSP facility from developing from donor countries and developed countries like USA. So we can export certain quota of a certain list of products to those developed countries. It's an official agreement, right? It's an official agreement. GSP is presently extended by 29 developing countries like Australia, Republic, Bulgaria, Hungary, Austria, Italy. Likewise, a lot of developed countries now participating in the GSP system. New Zealand, Switzerland, Belarus, UK, USA, Germany, Sweden, likewise. They are providing quotas for developing nations. The objectives of this GSP system is enhance the export earnings, promote industrialization, and encourage the diversification of the economies, and enhance the standard of living of the developing countries, right? And there are some other explanation regarding this GSP. You can read by yourself. This for additional knowledge. You can read these areas. And these are some of the products covered under GSP. These are the product list, some of the products, right? The total product coverage under European Union's GSP, approximately 7,000 list of items. They consist with the non-sensitive product 3,300, sensitive product 3,700, and some duty-free non-sensitive products. Likewise, it covers 7,000 items under the GSP European Union Agreement. Currently, actually, Sri Lanka have a quota to USA. It's regarding the textile and clothes, right? So these about for your knowledge, to increase your knowledge, enhance the knowledge as additional knowledge about the international trade and international organizations in the global business environment. So go through this note also. When you are doing your assignment, you can gather some information through this. So we will wind up the session for today, right? So thank you for the participation.